Alright guys, hey, how we doing? Michael P here.
Hey, it's Daniel P.
And Michael E.
Alright guys, we want to say thanks for joining us today. Yeah, so we've got some cool stuff we're going to show you here. We found a abandoned grain processing plant, and it's right up on the river. Back in the day it would have processed a bunch of grain. And Daniel, didn't you say it did something with lumber?
It basically processed goods to put them on barges.
Right. So when we were out there, it was, I mean, you could see the river right outside of it. So I guess they would port stuff from, they'd truck it in, process it, and then dump it straight onto barges in the river.
Yeah, this place was awesome because we were stumbling through the woods, and I'm like, I wasn't expecting to go out here, and I recently ripped a toenail off, but I'm like, I'm gonna complain, bitch. We're just gonna do it. And then we wandered through all the trees, and then I would get to where it was, and Evans, you're the one who first saw it, weren't you? Because you go, hey guys, what's that to the left? And we're like, it's an actual good place.
We thought it was just a silo out there. We didn't realize there's a whole factory attached to it. When we first walked up to it, the floor was covered in what, like 5 inches of mud?
Yeah, I collected it all on my shoes.
Yeah.
It was great.
We took home a bunch.
Down.
Yeah, there's a lot of animal tracks.
Raccoon, I think. With little fingers. And old footprints, and this is gross.
There's a couple outbuildings out there. See if we can show you that.
Hey, Michael.
Lovely.
Yeah.
710 split.
There's a sub. Yeah, and that's
why I'm
full
being
of water.
careful.
That is.
Now, judging by the footage, I would wager that they actually manufactured nightmares in that basement. It was super creepy to look down there.
Well, I mean, the way the economy was back, probably whenever this was running, you had to have dual purposes for your building. So, grain and lumber on the top floor, nightmares and death on the bottom. It's all good.
Sounds right.
You can see into the water down there. See that? Or I was seeing a reflection of the ceiling.
Whoa! There's a big ass hornet's nest in there.
Oh, fuck.
I think they're all sleepers.
Oh, that's creepy looking. There's a creepy ass hornet's nest. Yeah, that's you.
The ancient treasure trove of the Kush.
Ah, yes, for the tiny raccoon that scampered.
One thing we noticed when we went in here is it looks like this is where the Olympics or the Raccoon Olympics takes place.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was the most amount of raccoon tracks I've seen in any one place. If you'll notice over there on the door it says 420. We later put together and deduced that this is the Raccoon's weed facility. I guess they process all their marijuana here.
Michael Phelps, prime Olympian. So the Michael Phelps of raccoons is out here training in the water
gosh.
and smoking all that raccoon pot.
I think this is
in
the
that room.
commemorative Michael Phelps marijuana processing plant.
Raccoon's
So
hero.
Raccoon.
The raccoon's
Take
champion.
off your hat, boy. This is a sacred monument.
I wonder if he has webbed raccoon feet, just like.
Oh
Super
my
creepy.
God. See the hornet's nest, by the way?
Behind you, in the. Why don't you go Jim and GoPro in it?
Exactly.
There are holes all along in here. You can see.
There's
a hole right there.
If we get attacked by hornets.
Yeah.
Trying to get in here where it says 420 because apparently it's where the good stuff
Ancient
is.
treasure trove of the Kush.
So this right here we suspect is probably some type of like processing or testing, because I'm sure they would have to verify everything that they shipped out of here. So this looks like either the business office or lab portion of it, or it could have just very well been storage.
Yup, it's grain. Yup, it's lumber.
Portion of the floor over there looks like it's collapsed down, but we suspect because there was a huge garage door there that it actually might have mechanically lowered or was built at a gradient so that they could load trucks up into it. We didn't investigate too much into it, so it very well could have just been a collapsed floor. Here's a trough that leads out to that silo, and I think there's actually a sketchy walkway to get up on it.
I trust these like sketchy ass floors more than I would trust that trough. Do not walk up it.
This is the ramp of of death. I say let's try it. You can tell this railing is very rickety. So far the platform itself seems pretty sturdy. Hey, if we get on the ground, we can get inside this silo. You can see the chain assembly down there. That's not an omen of something. Skull right there. Now that's creepy. I don't know if I want to risk stepping out on that. There's a kind of a drop there. Hang on. Wanted to come out to this thing for years. Never knew there was actually a way to get out here. Alright, so as I got up here to the top, it became a little anticlimactic because that brush was covering the entrance to it. I kind of just peeked down into it and saw that, yes, it was accessible and there was not werebears or anything strange down in there.
That we saw.
That we were aware of.
It looks like a tiny baby roller coaster that just goes straight up it.
That's where the elves that mine the grain. That's how they got up there.
This friggin' humans shit. Messing up our shit.
So as you can see, that's just looking back down onto the factory. I think it would have been interesting to see it back in the day when all the trees were not grown up over it and just exactly in its working capacity with no air conditioning.
Back in the heyday.
No, in the grain day.
I'm sorry, grain day.
And lumber.
Gosh.
Lumber day, fine.
Here's
All right,
Evans.
so we
Here's
saw
Michael.
a basement door, and Michael E. was going to go explore it to see if he could access the underside of the basement and try and trudge through all the crud that was down there. Brave man. I wholeheartedly went back to check and make sure Daniel was still alive.
I was.
Michael E. was never seen again.
Surely there is no death here. Some kind of nasty room with a pump and looking at stuff. Nice, nice. And that is, I am not stepping in there. Look how deep those cinder blocks are. An interesting venture, to be sure. These steps are surprisingly quite sturdy. Oh, that's growing into the tree. I wonder if I can climb. Oh, this is not what. Oh my God, it's so. Look at that. Look how sturdy that's gonna be. Well, I can put my weight. Oh, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. If the trees don't take me first. Thank you, tree that has grown into these stairs. Hope we're not living in all this. All right. Hopefully this won't. Glad this isn't the floor.
There was huge holes that dropped down in the floor. I'm sure it's for elevator shafts or looking down and yelling at your coworkers.
It's
Hey, puppy!
management screaming ports.
Management screaming ports. So Daniel actually found out why the factory was flooded.
Yeah, because somebody left the spigot on. Those wasteful
Right.
assholes.
I'm alive!
Unfortunately, Michael E. lived through that harrowing experience.
Unfortunately.
Luckily, we don't get paid.
Right.
So,
File it with your workings comp. Right here. Right here.
Where can I find HR?
he was showing Michael E. a middle finger.
Ah,
Those.
Just now.
It's
Yeah,
our
just now.
official Trash Panda
Salute.
HR. Okay, so here what we were talking about, if you look down to the left, this is a way to actually access the basement. That right there looks like the floor is pretty close. That is actually, those stairs descend a lot further. So there's like 5 feet of just mud. This floods every year every time the river rises. So it just washes in a ton of crap. I'm actually still surprised that the structure is as sturdy as it is.
Now, Michael, by your judgment, would this be up to OSHA standards?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
very much
oh
so.
my.
Like, you could do surgery in these buildings.
This is basically ready for a condo to go in if you were in Detroit.
Ooh. It's kind of a cool little ow, my ear. There you are.
So when we first came out here, we joked about splitting up and not doing that, and that's the very first thing we did is
Oh,
just split up. Left Daniel at the front to get eaten by whatever werebeast are out here, and then I left Michael E. down there to get mulched by brain slugs in the basement.
Yep.
He loves brain slugs, though, so.
He's got about 4 at any given time.
You call them by their right names?
Slosh, Egg, and Edgar.
Yes. See, Daniel gets it.
Edgar's the brains of the outfit.
Edgar's is a degenerate. Drinks all
Edgar
the
is a meth head.
time.
I am almost certain there's like a dead body at the bottom of that, but who knows?
We figured out while they did marijuana on the inside, the trash pandas, as we've lovingly referred to them as, this is where they make their trash panda hooch.
Oh yeah.
So
Good stuff.
Good stuff. So I mean, you have weed and
80 proof.
I feel that they would just go all the way to like 99.8 proof. Like, raccoons, stop.
It's just
Oh,
on
man,
the proof,
moonshine holler.
on the alcohol content, it just has a paw print. You're like, what does it mean? And you drink it and you go blind. You're like, that's what it means.
There's a structure right out there. See if we can zoom in on it. It's metal. I don't know what it was, but you can just see here magnitude of how tall this thing is. It leads out all the way over there to that building. All right, we're gonna try and get inside this thing. We made it this far. All right. There's a hole all the way over through there on the other side. I can't get into it. I might just suck it up and get my shoes wet and just go for it. There's all kinds of rebar crisscrossing on here. Help hold up that scaffolding. Try and get in here. Okay. Shit.
He made it.
It's really nasty. Hey, meet me through one of the holes on the side. We'll head up through here.
We're gonna meet him at a hole.
Guys, this is cool. This is some old silo, and the whole thing is pretty much flooded. It's all gushy through here. Gonna see if we can get some cool footage without me dying. So when it rains, apparently I don't know what type of silo it was, but the roof, let me see if I can show you, is hollow. Just a screen mesh, but it's in completely metal sides. I don't know what this is. It looks like some type of trap.
Hello.
So the ground out here was very swampy, and all of us chose to wear, because we didn't know we were doing this, the worst shoes possible for going out here. I had slip-on moccasins. You had black boots.
I like slip-on boots.
And I had my only pair of shoes.
Aw.
Yeah.
Send lots of donations so we can buy Daniel more shoes and more camera
I have
equipment.
crappy boots I bought on Amazon.
All right, guys. Well, hey, we hope you enjoyed this. It was pretty neat going out there. We might try and go back during the summer when it's all green and full of bees and snakes. But yeah, so if you enjoyed it, or even if you didn't, give us a like or a share. And yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Michael
All
T
right.
out.
Michael Lee out.
Daniel P. I'm going to bed. Oh.